Alright guys, so here's the Winnie. I'm officially calling it done for now. This thing took, I don't know, I started streaming at like 1:30. It's now like 11 something. It's 11:14 and I just now finished. So yeah, I spent basically all day working on this, gluing parts and everything else. So when I initially got this, only thing that moved was the spinning arm, and it had a split gear, and the whole spinning arm was loose. Like you could literally take it and move it side to side like that. It was super bad. And what had happened is you've got a gear on the actual metal arm coming down, and on the back plate, you know, the shaft is supposed to go into this piece of plastic to hold it in place on both sides. Well, the back one snapped, and it just let the whole like gear do like the whole shaft and everything just go like move around. And what happened is it started to like strip the gears and everything out, and it just couldn't spin. And originally I could not figure out, I knew how to fix it, I just couldn't get it to work. The gear on these arms, the shaft has teeth on it, so the gear was like stuck, and it had a big crack going down it. And I was afraid if I tried to get it off, and I tried for like 20 minutes to get it off, couldn't get it off, that it would just snap in half. So what ended up happening is the hips freed up on their own. I don't think this thing has been used hardly ever. The grease had become like glue. Like it was like the same consistency as like, you know, like hot glue, right? When it's still kind of hot and not quite melted, like it's really stringy and gross. That's exactly what the grease was like in these things. It was so bad. And so the head motor completely seized up. There was so much grease inside of it that had hardened. It was terrible. And so I took the motor apart, and when I was trying to put the motor back together, where the shaft comes out at the end of it, I have it right here. No, I don't. I'm not opening my toolbox. Where the shaft comes out at the very end, I accidentally bent the metal case. And what was happening is when I put the back of the motor back on, instead of it coming out straight, it was coming out like this, and it was binding the whole motor up so the motor couldn't spin. So I had to go find another motor, and I took the metal shell off of it and put it on the motor for the head, and it works now. I put a new gear. Yeah, I put a new gear in it because it was split. I put a new gear in the spinning arm because it was split. The hips didn't need anything. They just freed up and started working on their own. I had to spin the motor, and it just kind of took off, and it's been working really good. But the spinning arm, I 100% gave up on the spinning arm. I put this thing fully back together and just said, I can't fix it. But after putting it back together and seeing how bad the spinning arm worked, I couldn't deal with it. So I took it back apart. And what I had to do, because this back piece was shattered, there was still a little bit of it left. So I had to take the gear and push it really far forwards so it would let the shaft back farther so that it would have something to hold it in place. And it is working. The spinning arm is kind of loud because the gears are damaged. A lot of the teeth are still gone, and they're not meshing as good anymore. So like especially on the big gear, you could see where the teeth have been grinded down. So it does work. It doesn't slip or anything like that. It is a little bit more noisy than usual, and yeah. So, and for this arm, it was completely yellowed and broken into like 4 different pieces. It was really bad. So I kind of made my own custom mechanism for it. It, instead of moving up and down, it moves side to side now, which I think looks better than it just laying there floppy. But yeah, this thing took forever. It was only 18 bucks, so I mean, I'm still not complaining. I did get it working. But here it is. This is as good as I can get it. The whole spinning arm technically needs replaced if I wanted to make it sound smooth again, but yeah, whatever. I had to glue the gear because I had to literally take a lighter to get it off the shaft, and it was kind of loose, so I had to glue it on. I don't know. Pain in the butt. It just took forever. But anyways, here it is. It works really good now. And just while we're here, let me show you my other one. My other one I've never had to fix before. And it still works fully. This one kind of goes crazy and goes everywhere, but yeah, that's them. So thank you guys for watching.